Merry meet Cancer. Cancer sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. This is a 2-week reading for all Cancer starting today, the 19th of January, 2025. This is Ariel Gatoga. Oh, and today I'm reading with the Feline Tarot of Marseille. And I've already purified with this old standby Extra Vieille cologne by Roger and Gallet. Let's see what's in the cards for all you gorgeous Cancers. Starting out with the Seven of Swords, very nice. The World card, excellent. The Two of Wands, very, very good reading to start off with. Now, this Two of Wands is a little impatience. So you don't want to rush in. You know, you are a cardinal sign. People think, oh, well, Cancer's a water sign, so they're just very, no. You're a cardinal sign, just like me, just like I'm an Aries. And we do tend to rush in. And before we know everything, before we know all the facts, rush in and have an opinion, or rush in and take action about something. And so you want to be careful not to do that. It's overall such a good reading so far, but that's the only, it's not even a negative. It's just be careful, because you might get real enthusiastic and, leap before you look. So you don't want to do that. It's not so much that there's a danger. It's just that you won't be optimizing your time as well. And sometimes if you go in too fast and you don't assess the situation before you act, you make mistakes because of false assumptions, and then you've got to spend time going and cleaning up those mistakes. And it's really more of that. It's a waste of time. So you're going to actually save time by holding off before you act. Just take a beat or two and ask for inner guidance. Now, there were some. It looks like for many of you, I don't know if for all of you, but for many of you, some pretty big conflicts recently. And it says that they've been resolved in miraculous ways. So if you haven't noticed that yet, you will. You will. And you have the winning hand in everything. There's absolutely nothing for you to fear. You have the winning hand. You are the winner of whatever this game was. And if you look at the tarot as a game, which it was developed as a game, then tarot readings are about how to play the game of life. And the way that you're playing the game of life right now is really good. You're doing a great job. You got dealt a good hand. Now, like it's saying, you want to really play that hand skillfully. So don't necessarily lead with your highest card. Just make sure that you wait and you see what's going on before you act. That's the only thing that is a piece of advice. The rest of it is pretty much of a good for you. Look at how well you're doing, Cancer. Okay, we've got a 5. Oh yeah, that was awful. There was some bad stuff going on for you. A lot of internal conflict. It seems like that's getting resolved or has been resolved, but you don't see it that way. You're not seeing it that way, and you need to. You need to recognize that it's already resolving and resolved, and that you do have the winning hand. But the reason why you might be impatient with the world is because you're being impatient with yourself. You don't need to be impatient with yourself. You're at the right time, doing the right thing, in the right place. You have nothing to worry about. You have nothing to feel bad about regarding yourself. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. This World card is not kidding. You are exactly where you need to be, and you're in a place of power. But if you don't recognize that you're in a place of power, how can you execute that power? You can't, right? If you had a magic button that you could press to make everything happen the way you want it to happen, but you didn't know it was there, how good would it be for you, right? So you have to know that button's there. You have to know that you have the winning hand. So you do want to take it easy. You do want to take it slowly, but you don't want to rush yourself, but you also don't want to feel like, what's wrong with me? How come I'm not farther along? Shouldn't I be farther along? How come everybody else is doing so much better than I'm doing? There's nothing wrong with you, and you are very far along. You are extremely far along. I need to cut this deck again because I was absent-mindedly shuffling before I put the last card here, so I have to cut before I put the card down. There we go. And this is a 7. So you've got 2 sevens. Venus is the victor. Now, Venus's victory on the Tree of Life is not the same kind of victory as what you might get from Mars, which will just, just go in and force the issue. Venus is not like that. Venus just relies on the beautification of things to be victorious. Venus is like the grass growing up from the concrete. It will outlive everything else. It will outlast everything else. And that's your power. It's not so much going in and changing things. Like I said, you don't want to rush. But instead, just recognizing that you're in the right place at the right time. And you don't need to prove yourself to anybody. And you definitely don't need to prove yourself to yourself, because you're perfect just the way you are. And what you want to do is lean into that Venus energy and allow yourself to ask yourself, what's beautiful? What's beautiful? And what do I think is beautiful? What kind of beautiful energy do I desire? What kind of beautiful things do I desire? It's not so much things here, but that can be there too. And there's also a beauty in your work that you're being asked to look at. Rather than rushing in and just finishing the job or whatever you need to do with your work, and this can be creative work, it can be job, it can be career, business, whatever the important work in your life is, rather than just like, okay, I got to go get that done. Ask yourself, well, how can I beautify it? How can I make it the most beautiful thing in the whole world? When you do that, you're invoking Venus. And when you invoke Venus in this regard, you're invoking victory. You're invoking victory. Instead of impatience, you're going for beauty. Instead of impatience, you're going for positive sensuality. That's Venus too. It's beauty that it's so attractive. When you see 2 gardens, one after the other, one of them is not well kept, or it's just sort of boring, and one of them is just gorgeous. Which one do you want to look at? Right? It's intriguing. It's magnetic. It pulls you in. And that's what you're being called upon, Cancer, to focus on, is beautifying your work and beautifying your circumstances, and recognizing that you as a beauty, because you're a beauty, your energy, your everything is beautiful. You as a beauty have the power. You outshine everything else. You're the most magnetic. So you don't need to be impatient. You let things come to you. You let things come to you. You don't have to go to them. You let things come to you because of how gorgeous the energy is, how gorgeous the ideas are, the thought forms, and also the things too, wherever that beauty wants to land. That's your focus, is beauty and Venus and positive sensuality. Not, and it's not that you're trying to seduce something or someone. It's just that you can't help yourself. When you're beautiful, everybody wants to come to you. and this is you. I mean, you're gorgeous. And you have all of these 4 cherubic energies are the 4 archangels of the fixed signs of the zodiac. That Leo is the lion, and Taurus is the bull, and this angel here is Aquarius, and this eagle there is Scorpio. Those are all the fixed signs of the zodiac, and they're there surrounding you so that you can feel safe and know that you're free to do what you want to do and have a great life. And you don't have to rush. You don't have to worry about, I'm not far enough, or something's wrong with me, or I'm not doing enough. Yes, you are. The only thing you have to worry about, well, I don't even like the word worry. The only thing you need to concern yourself with is, how gorgeous am I? And how can I make my life even more gorgeous? What is gorgeous to me? What is beautiful to me? What is my aesthetic? Not what do other people think is pretty. What is pretty to me? What is beautiful to me? What do I like? And that doesn't, like I said, only mean aesthetics. It can mean that. It can mean your clothes and your garden and your home and your office, all of that. But also, what energy is beautiful to me? And if you just think about beautiful energy, like, what does that feel like? What you're doing is you're bypassing all of this impatience and getting right into the victory. And the ultimate victory here, it looks like it's going to be in the suit of wands, which is your work. which is your work. And you have a choice here. Do I want to be impatient and just get it done? Or do I want to lean into the beauty of it all and allow my success to be drawn to me in ways that it wasn't being drawn to me before, because I was so worried about, I need it now. I need it now. I need to do something now. Or either I'm impatient about my work itself, or I'm impatient about myself. This is the big one, I think, for you. It's like you do not need to be impatient with yourself. I know that it feels that way, but you don't. There's nothing wrong with you, and there's nothing that you need to do more of right now. The only thing that can help you right now, even more than anything else, is just you knowing how beautiful you are. Just knowing that. And it's not egotistical to know that, because you didn't create yourself. So it's like, I can't take credit for it, but isn't it nice how beautiful I am? And you don't have to tell people this, right? But this is something that you tell yourself. And your own energy is beautiful. And so just sit and contemplate that. That may sound like a waste of time, but that's because you're being impatient. And so instead of being impatient, just sit and contemplate how gorgeous you are and what a gift you are to the world. That's not arrogant. It's time well spent, because then you're going to reorient yourself toward the truth and not get caught rushing and doing things, leaping before you look. And then that 7 here is ultimate victory. And there's ultimate victory on both sides. So you're doing very, very well. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I so appreciate you. We'll see you in 2 weeks for another reading, Cancer. Until then, blessed be.